So again, we're doing an honest lesson. I have to relax. I have to relax. I have to be able to get these ideas out to you. And it's not a show. It's not. Um, it's not a song. Okay, it's a music lesson, and I am going to be playing this P5 guitar. I just kind of play around with the fiddle and the violin, but this is where I'm making my music. I'm making the moolah music. I'm not making any moolah, but I'm making music. So what do we got here? Let's look. Let's look. Let's look at our shapes. We're not going to even get down here, and we're certainly not going to get to the modals. But eventually we want to be able to play the 1, 4, 5 in each one of them. I can do it on guitar. And keep in mind, up on the board, on the display here, we're looking at P5. But with the guitar, let's say you start the E shape, you might want to do it in F, E, right up here, E, A, C, E shape, A shape, C shape. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. I take a while to get that C shape. Okay, in the C shape, it's C shaped, E shaped, G shaped. We can do it down here. We can do it here. C shaped, E shaped, G shaped. Whoops. That is definitely a blooper. I can't feel this. I got this band-aid on here. My fingers are really hurting, and I found out playing guitar is opening those little cuts up every night, so we got a problem. A shape. Okay, it's A. Let's look at it. The true caged A shape is A, D, and E. Once again, so it's the A shape, D shape, and E shape. You get it. There's 3 shapes in each cage. So we're going to be covering that. We're going to be looking at that in the future. But right now, I don't know the E shape well enough to do it. But we can look at it from here. Now let's look. Here's our C shape in P5. I can tell you that to go to the E shape there, all I have to do is move my fingers down. And that top string becomes like that. That I've memorized. And then for the G shape, I just move the pattern up. It's the opposite of guitar. In guitar, you move the pattern up, you're going to the F. As you know, E shape goes to the A shape. You're moving the pattern up and then adjusting for the tuning third. So the E, the fourth of E is A, you move it up. But in P5, you move it down. But let's look at how that works. Root 5, 3, root 5, as you know, we played that. Now when we want to go to the E shape, let's look at that E shape right here. The thing is, where does root 4 and for the 4th here, this is the E shape 4th. Well, gosh, these are the numbers, right? And then the 5th, look at these numbers, they're horrible. See, we don't want to be looking at, oh, okay, well, guess what? The G shape goes down 1. Of course, because we have C, E, G. Our G shape happens to go down 1 there. There's our lone wolf 7 on the G shape, isn't it? G is the third. 7 is the 3rd of the G triad. So that's a little thing we're going to have to watch out for. But let's do it this way. Here's C shape. Let's look at the 4th and E shape over here. Now we give it its local root. And now we can look at this and we can say, okay, this is the 4th. It's going to be in the key of F. Okay, why are we playing the third there? I don't know. Or are we playing the fifth maybe right there? This second string here is again the A string. Right, A is the third. So this is the fourth shape here. What we're looking for is this upside down E. Remember I talked about mirror images? We're looking for the upside down E. Okay, so what strings are we on? And again, we're going to be in F now. Or we could do that from the fourth, which would be the A shape. So you just find the A on the top string. On the top string, if I bar it here, then I can just look for my C notes again, right? I can just look for my C notes again. That is a that is an E-shaped C, okay, kind of thing. I think that we just played. Okay, that's if the lower note, that's if it's lined up to play the. So once again, cage, you can either go up the neck in cage shapes, or you can do true cage down here. So this is we play an E-shaped fourth. We'd essentially be playing an E-shaped fourth up here, because here's our root, and that would be the F. Okay, so how do we play these? Well, that's that's how do you play this? Here's your fretnut. Here's your fretnut with root down there. No, I'm playing root up here. So we got the fretnut down here. Actually, you see how the fretnut's extended for this particular case? So that fretnut's kind of wrong, but it isn't, because in the E box traditionally we would have root right there because it's top string pentatonics. So, again, we've got the same shape. Now, for the G shape, it's C, E, G. So let's look at, where's our G shape? Right over here. Okay. So again, we're making it easier. So instead of getting 5, 7, 2 on the G shape, we're going to be looking at it as a root chord. Where's the root? There it is on the G string. Cello, second string up from the bottom. There's our G. There's its fifth. Here's the third, which is actually a B. That's why it sounds so good, just smooth it. Here's the root chord. Oh, that sounds minor. Here's the root chord. So we have those open strings working for us there. And that's the G shape right there. Okay, so that's what caged is all about. Invoking the true cage shapes instead of worrying about going over here and saying, okay, well, let's go to the E-shaped here. When we went to the E-shaped there, guess what? I don't recognize that, but it is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Root is root. So roots are F there. Let's see. No, see, root isn't the F in that diagram. Root is not the F in diagram. Root of the fourth shape is 4. So that's why it pays to know what the shapes are. Hey, I think we've learned something. I've pretty much covered the situation. Once you learn these shapes up here, and we should actually spend some time and go through these shapes. This is going to be the real deal A. It's going to be A major with its C sharp and everything. Over here, G, this is going to be the G. It's going to have its seventh, it's going to have the F sharp in it if you play it open. We're kind of out of time, so I'm going to say we'll continue this situation next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe and keep watching. It's been a really good lesson. It's been good teaching y'all. Have a great day.